Hey guys, what's up? Somebody give me a 5 for 5 in there if you would. Yeah. So yeah, I'm back again. It's like feast or famine, isn't it? Isn't it, guys? Feast or famine. I just wanted to pop on here, guys, because we do got updates. And that's what we're gonna go with right now. So that's what we're gonna do. We're gonna go ahead and jump into this because there is a lot to talk about, and things are still ramping up. I don't think this is going to be a situation where we don't see some sort of effects from this one. I don't think it's any kind of grid down or anything like that, but we definitely will see increased aurora. We're going to see probably some minor electrical surge type stuff. I'm not going to go into detail on that end of it because we simply don't know until it hits. But what I can say is that Noaa is forecasting already a G2. That's what I can say for sure. And that was before this last flare just happened. And we are in a radiation storm also. I spoke about that in my previous live stream a little while, this morning. And I told you guys I didn't know if it was going to happen. But, we were looking at it, and I showed you guys how it had raised just a little bit, the protons, right? And I didn't know how far up it was going to go. Well, it got into storm level, and it stayed there for a while. And we're going to be pretty close to storm level for a good amount of time now. And I'm going to show you guys some things that I've talked about before tonight also, as far as what I was talking about, static that we see on the coronagraph sometimes when we get the bigger shots. We've had multiple flares, okay? Look at these. Now, that's the biggest one we had today. This one here just happened to, an hour ago, something like that. These are both M-class flares. And these here are skirting right at the top of that. So, those are high C-class flares. So that's what we're looking at right now, guys. This is not no grid down thing. I can't say that right now because I don't think that it is. All right? And I'm not going to come out here and start blowing smoke. It's just not going to happen. And I'm not trying to do any kind of just, do anything at all, really, that is just for views and things like that. I'm not going to upplay it, and I'm not going to downplay it either, okay? If it needs to have a certain amount of focus, that's what I'm going to give it. And that's what we're going to do right here. I don't care where the truth comes from, as long as it's the truth. And, it could be something I was taught already, or it could be something new, and it could be completely different than what I was taught. You have to be open to both sides. And I know I've been saying that a lot lately, but it is the truth, guys. You have to do that. If you don't, you're going to be lopsided. Just saying. And you don't want to be in that position because then what happens is you start leaning one way before you even get the data. And you just can't do that because you end up with the wrong answer or an exaggerated version of that answer. So, let me show you the flare. I'll show you the coronagraphs here first. This is stereo A. Okay, this is the second one. It's nuts to me sometimes when I'm talking like this because I haven't seen events like this very often since I've been doing my channel. I'm not saying that this stuff doesn't happen. It does. Most certainly does. But this is why we talk about it. And we talked about a double tap situation before. Right? Remember, and most people would agree with me on this, that you take a blast from the sun, one big blast is not going to be as powerful as two smaller blasts in sequence right behind it. Right? Like a double tap, like we talked about. Okay? And that's what we're going to see with this. The Earth is not missing these, guys. These things are coming right at us. This is not something that's going to miss. I can confidently say that, and the reason why I can is because I'm showing you this right here, and the models are now in from this morning, and all the models are showing it hitting. Okay? Now, the second one came from the same sunspot. So, let me do this. I'm just going to start this thing. Okay? And it's going to almost look like it's looping, right? But it's not. That's the first one. Okay? And then there's the second one. Those are two separate flares, CMEs. The Earth is over here. Okay? We're not missing this one. Just saying. And I believe we're going to catch a double tap. That's what I think is going to happen. Obviously, I can't say for sure until everything comes in and stuff starts happening. They don't look to be like... This is what you can expect to see from an M-class flare with the CME involved. Right? And it's exactly what happened here, guys. Notice that there's no eruptions in between those two, but yet we had still flares. That's showing you that we can have flares without plasma leaving the sun. So I hope that helps people understand that too, because those weren't little small flares either. So yeah, so we're going to go over here to ISWA, and I'm going to show you SOHO right here on the right. I'm going to zoom in actually. But what you're going to see here, guys, is this is from our view, our perspective. Okay, this satellite sits out in front of the Earth. It's roughly about, I believe, it's like a million miles closer to million miles closer to the sun. And so that's what you're looking at right here, guys. This is definitely something that we can't ignore this time. You're going to see static right here. And that, like I said, the second one just happened. So watch what happens here. You'll see it. It's not a massive flood, but you're seeing it right there. Okay? When you see that, those are highly charged particles hitting the camera. Okay? That's what you're seeing there. So, yeah. We got the first of this morning. And the second one behind it is just as big. So I'm just going to kind of pause that and grab the slide bar to show you. And these are both what we call halo. This is an occulter disk. This is the surface of the sun. That occulter disk has to be there to block the light of the sun. If it's not there, we don't get a picture at all. Right? If anybody knows how cameras work, that has to be there. So it's a physical disc on the camera or on the tool there. So, but understand when we say halo, you'll see the energy start coming out around it, and it looks like a halo. It's like an angel's halo. That's what it looks like. When that happens, we're not sure if it goes off the back or if it's coming right at us until we look at the other view, which is what I already showed you guys here. This is our side view, so it's definitely coming at us. All right, this is stereo A. Earth again is over here. The satellite, you'd be looking like as if you're standing on the satellite. So yeah, this could be significant, guys. I mean, Noaa is already forecasting a G2 just from that first one. So if we get a second one 12 hours later, our magnetic field's going to have a hard time getting back to a more normal state. And it's going to be trying to bounce around a little bit. Okay? And it's going to be trying to deflect this stuff. It's going to be doing all kinds of stuff, right? And what do we look for? Like I said earlier, guys, we have to look for that BZ angle. And you have to have -6 for it to really get into our magnetic system to really give us a good shot. Now, these ones that are bigger, they don't necessarily need that -6. Okay? They're going to ring our bell is what's going to happen. Now, again, a G2, I have to keep that in perspective, guys. You have to keep that in perspective, what we're talking about here. So let me pull up this is Noaa. Again, this is what they say will happen and how many is expected during, this is geomagnetic storm. So if we get to a G2, you got high latitude power system, alarms, voltage alarms. Long duration storms may cause transformer damage. Now they're talking about high latitude. What does that mean? That means closer to your poles, further away from the equator. Alright? So, let me just say that you're looking at that, and I want you guys to look at the number over here. That's how many they expect to happen during the sun cycle. So there's 300, it says 360 days per cycle. I don't know exactly where they're getting that from, but it says 600 per cycle. That's what we can expect to see, G2 storms. So yeah. Oh, goodness gracious. But anyway, I think that's the number of days or something like that. I'm not sure exactly how they're computing that and why how that comes into play. But you can see what they're saying is normal and what's not. So this is significant. It's not abnormal, but it's not something we can ignore. Okay? I want to make that clear because that's what we have to do, right? So when you're looking at this stuff, you got spacecraft operations, corrective actions might need to be taken to keep these satellites from falling out of the sky. Keep in mind that the SpaceX launch was, a month or two ago, where they lost 40 satellites, and then a week later, the other company lost, 4 satellites? And that was during G1 storm conditions. So it was kind of odd to see those back-to-back things happen. It just points to that our magnetic field is weakening. And we are definitely seeing more effects from not as big of CMEs or flares or whatever we're talking about. Our magnetic field is weakening. That's a fact. There's no question of that. Nobody will even question that. The question comes in, what kind of effects is that going to lead us to have? And so what you're seeing here is, and again, I want to make sure that you guys understand that I don't think this is like grid down stuff, okay? I just don't. I don't see that being the case here. And like I said in my earlier stream today, if you look at this, guys, if we're going to be talking about grid down stuff, you're going to be talking stuff off this chart. It's going to have to be way up here, man. I mean, that's just what it is. But we can't ignore this other stuff because you could get other things happening that are significant. People that, like first responders, they rely on good radio propagation. And when we're getting some of this solar activity, it degrades that severely sometimes. And what's kind of funny is one will degrade ham radio operations, and the other energy that we get from it is going to degrade your GPS. So one group of people like it, the other one don't, and then vice versa when the other stuff's happening. So this is what we're talking about here. I do think we're getting both. So let me show you the radiation storm, because we're in that. Check it out. I mean, this is it's significant, guys. I mean, I know I've said that already, but that's what this is. And you can see how right there on the end, you've seen that second flare happen. Right there. Now, these are our poles, and this is what happens with radiation. We get blasted with highly charged protons. They get here, right? That's why we look at the proton flux, which is what's up here. That's how they gauge radiation storms. Put us into an S1. All right? So, I know that people want to know how dangerous that could be. So what we'll do, again, we can go back to our chart here, because you can go here and look. Solar radiation storms. What can we expect? S1, biological, no effects. That's what it says. Satellite operations, no effects. Other systems, minor impacts on high-frequency radio in the polar regions. Now, that's at an S1. If we continue to get blasts from the sun, those protons will continue to build up, and they could push us up further. Okay? So, this kind of stuff is really what astronauts and stuff really pay attention to, because they don't have the complete protection of our magnetic field out there in space. They have some of it because they're in our our magnetopods and stuff, but listen, they don't have as much of it. So there's some more distance to gain there to get to the surface of the Earth. And that's why believe it or not, guys, our skin does a really good job of filtering out this stuff. And this is also why that you see a lot of skin cancers and stuff like that, because our skin is our first line of defense against that stuff. If it wasn't there, our organs would be affected, and they can be still on big stuff. They tell people that are flying high latitudes, like like stewardess and pilots and stuff like that. If they're making multiple runs, flying back and forth during these storms, it's as if they're sitting there taking an X-ray. You know, there's a reason why the doctors and nurses put on lead vests when they give you an X-ray. It's because that stuff continuously will make you sick and give you cancer. I mean, that's as simple as that. But yeah, so you got, again, guys, I don't want to like play it down, and I don't want to play it up. I don't. And it's a hard line to walk, because you want to be serious, and you want to be. It's a hard thing to put your thumb on here. It's a hard line to walk, and I do think that we're going to see something from this double tap could actually be something that could be a little bit stronger because of the double tap nature of it. Our magnetic field doesn't have enough time to get back to a really stable position to be able to deflect the second one coming. So the other, when it hits that second one, sometimes it can be, a little stronger than what it would have been if it was on its own. So yeah. So let's check out the flare itself. We'll look at the 131 angstrom here, guys. And again, guys, I think this is the first one. What's the time? Yep, that's the first one. Now I want you guys to watch this sunspot. It's going to continuously just sit there and crackle. I mean, really. Watch. Multiple flares. I got it going kind of slow. Sorry. But yeah, you're going to see that just start popping. There was another one. Okay? That wasn't even that second M class. There went the second M class right there. You see that plasma, it left the sun? That was that second M class flare. And it looks like it's not done yet. So we're going to have to, well, there's the other one right there. So I just updated it to give us the most updated info here, data. I'm going to speed this up so we can look at it better. Okay, there we go. That's moving good now. So watch what this thing's doing right there where my cursor's at. Boom, 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 boom. I mean, it's just continually firing off. So, yeah, this is the stuff that we haven't seen facing Earth yet. This sun cycle like this. We've seen them popping over here. You've heard us all talk about, and anybody in this community has heard us all talk about the stuff that was firing off the backside, off the sides, and we tend to not talk about that as much because it's not directly affecting us for the most part. Now we have one facing us doing what this stuff's been doing on the other parts of the sun. So we're going to see some effects. We're going to see this thing hit. We're not dodging this one, guys. So, and again, I don't want to make it more than what it is, because it's not like I said, it's not grid down. How you going to hide from the nova? I don't know, Christopher. That's a good question. If that was to happen, and I know that there's a lot of stuff out there talking about that, and just to be honest with you, I don't speak about that because I don't have the knowledge base to do so. I got enough knowledge just to be able to come give you guys a report and tell you what we're looking at here and try to give you what I think might be happening. But as far as micronovas or full-blown novas, I mean, obviously there's nothing you can do about that. I mean, yeah, you can do what we all do, and that's prep. But, we can't control any of it. That's the simple fact of the matter. Even though that sucks to say that, it's just the truth. Now, I'm not saying we shouldn't be aware, because we should. We want to make sure, right? What about shielding, hat, or clothes? Yeah, guys, you guys can purchase that stuff if you're really, that into that. I'm not saying one way or the other. I don't have that kind of stuff. In my own personal opinion on something that's going to be that big, I'm not sure that it's going to make much of a difference. And it could. I could be completely wrong. That is just my opinion on that stuff. I mean, I'm sure that there's stuff out there you can go below ground and get bunkers, and I mean, you can do all that stuff. And I'm not saying what's right or wrong there. I'm just simply saying I don't have that stuff. So, thanks, Brittany. I appreciate you. Sorry I haven't been paying much attention to the chat. I'm just now looking at it for the first time. Let's say hi to everybody I missed. Sorry, guys. Yeah, I don't know. I'll go back and look at the chat on the replay. Hey, Becca. See if I missed anybody. But hi to anybody that stopped in. If you're still here, I'm sorry if I missed you. Yeah. So here's the geoelectric field. This is space weather's effect on our electrical grid. That's what this is trying to represent. And you're going to see a little bit of bouncing around here, guys. And again, when the CMEs start to arrive, that's when you're going to see this model move. Okay? That's why you're not seeing it move a whole lot with the flares. You're seeing some, but you got to remember, we were already in a coronal hole stream also. And we just took a side swipe from another CME. So, yeah. Oh, did I miss you? Hey, what's up, brother? What up, Tommy? Guys, you got to get over to the lifeboat, please. Anybody that's not over there, do me a favor. Go do that, please. I mean, honestly. We help people tonight. I mean, really helped them. And I get so much gratification out of it, guys, it's not even funny. You know, and that was not me 10 years ago when I was addicted. Total different person. I didn't care. Nothing but about my drug. And I'm not going to get into that here. I mean, I get it. But that's what we do over there, right? So please go check us out over on the lifeboat. Check out Mark Pires, Renaissance Man. Check out everybody I always say, right? Marfugel. I think they're live. I think Adam and Dex are live now. I was texting back and forth with Dex a little earlier. And then they, obviously they're doing their live show, so obviously they're not worried about what I'm saying for sure. I mean, they're doing such good work over there right now. It's crazy. They're really on top of it. So, yeah, guys, please go over to Lifeboat. Christine, sorry about this morning when I cut you off with that, posting that link. Thank you for putting it in there, girl. Appreciate you. Hey, Trish, what's up? Seven's in the house. That's right, Mark Pires. There you go. Drop that Marfugel link. I mean, anybody. I encourage you guys to listen to everybody. I really do. Please. And and again, guys, I mean, just watch. Just watch and pay attention. Just because somebody might be incorrect doesn't make them a bad person. Right? You could be incorrect. And you got to look at what we're looking at here too. I mean, for a lot of people, this is their job. So they got to do the best they can to get as many views as they possibly can. So they got to kind of walk that line of, clickbait and all that kind of stuff. I get it. I understand it because I see the numbers, right? I don't monetize, so I don't worry about that. And I think I'm not saying that it's better to monetize or not. For a lot of reasons, it is better to monetize. They'll push your videos out more. They do. That's just a simple fact. They'll tell you that straight up. But, again, then it comes with some drawbacks. I can actually play certain music and stuff that other people can't because it gets copyrighted. They'll lose their monetization on the video. So there's stuff like that I can do that others can't. And that's why I choose to do this. I just want to help. And the same thing goes over on the lifeboat. I'm telling you, man, I've been through that life, and everybody over there has, and it's a beautiful thing. Just saying. So, yeah. All right. Now, what can we expect? Well, we're going to look at Noaa here, right? And so, right now, they've already changed it. Look at this. If you guys go back to the beginning of the stream, hey, Sage Fup, good to see you. Axe, what's happening? Pamela's in the house. But if you guys go back to the beginning of this stream, this was not like this when I showed you guys at first. The G2 was after, I believe, the G1, and these other numbers weren't here. So they're probably starting to forecast that second CME in there. And they will change this, and I'm glad they do. Because as they get better data in, as the stuff gets closer, they can get it more accurate. So what we're going to do is I'm going to show you guys the CME tracker over on NASA. Okay, so that's what you got there. And this is the first one. This is the first CME that popped off this morning with that M-class flare. And again, look, the models are confirming this thing is not missing us. I mean, we're right in the middle of this one. This is not even like glancing blow type of stuff. We're talking direct hit. Okay? You know, you remember that on, like, what was it? What was the game called? Battleship? G1, G2. Oh, those are storm levels. I'm just kidding. That was kind of a dad joke. I'm sorry, but I am a dad. So, anyway, yeah. So, this is the top-down view. That's the Earth right there, getting hit there. This is the side cut. This lets you know if it's going north or south. Well, it's going right in the middle, right? And then look here. This is the our orbital line around the sun stretched out in a straight line. So it gives us that third axis to look at, and it lets you know if this thing is hitting on all three of these, you know it's going to hit. At least that's what the model is trying to tell you. When are we expected? Okay, that's a good question. Thank you, Virginia, for asking that. Hey, Tom, what's up, brother? Let's go over here, and I will show you. Okay, now, again, guys, I have to say that this is just their forecasting. And that second one that popped off just happened, so we're not going to get real good, accurate data on that yet. But their initial forecasting here is on the 31st is when that first one will arrive. Okay? So today is what? We're going into the early parts of the 29th. So, you know, 3 days, roughly. So you can expect about 12 hours after this one for the other one to start hitting. And that's what it looks like here. You see how that crept back up to a 4? My guess is the next number here tomorrow, once they go to the next day here on their forecasting, it's probably going to have a storm level there. I simply just don't think that this is going to be a nothing burger. This is not going to be a nothing burger, I don't think. I don't usually speak in definitive terms like that, but this is a little different. I really do think that this one's going to hit us. The chances of this thing missing us is a lot lower than it hitting us. I can tell you that. But the effects is what we got to, really got to talk about when we talk about stuff like this. But here is your sunspots. That's where that flare came from, I think. Or it might even came from over here. Let's find out. Let's go back over here real quick. Kind of hard to say. But yeah, so yeah. Let's look at it on the 94 angstrom, guys. This is, well, I'll tell you what we can do. We never did look at it on Soho, did we? I think we looked at it for a minute. But right here, this is Soho. This is Lasco C2. Again, this is the one that sits out in front of the Earth. I think it's like 1 million miles closer to the sun. But so you get the first one right about there. See that? See how you got static there? Again, that's highly charged protons or just highly charged particles blasting the camera. Now, when we see X flares with CMEs and this happens, this whole screen almost turns completely white. So that's what we're talking about a difference of, right? So that's also showing you that this is not grid down, right? So, anyway. There's the second one, right there. Okay? So, again, these are substantial, guys. They really are. They're M-class flares with substantial CMEs with it. And the first one's already given us a radiation storm. Hey, Isaiah Granny, good to see you. But again, right? Oh, yeah, man. You guys want some good earthquake stuff, go over and check out Ron, Emergency Management Associates. See what I'm saying, guys? We find so many positive people in our community, it's hard to remember all of them and get them all in here, you know? Let's see here. What you got there, PCM? Good to see you, by the way. More energy from our sun hits magnetosphere stronger. Gets where we are at magnetosphere strength to protect us from Yeah. I mean, you're right. And basically, I think what you're talking about there is the sun helps protect us from the sun. We need some of that stuff to really keep our magnetic field going in the proper way. But the fact is, right now, is our magnetic field is weakening. Yeah, upside down, exactly, PC. So, with that being said, and we are heading towards solar maximum. We're getting real close, believe it or not. Hey, Kenley, good to see you. Hey, Flamin', love you, brother. If you ever need somebody to tell you he loves you, or you want somebody to tell you love him, he'll come over here right now and tell you that, I promise. These are guys from the lifeboat, guys. I mean, this is what you get. You get love over there, promise. So if anybody's fighting addiction, or if they have family members that are, or if they're wondering if their family is, you can come over there and we'll try to help you. So. Oh, you want a wrench, do you, Sage Pup? Yeah, I could probably do that. Listen, guys, I don't even know how many I got. I have to go count first, Sage Pup. I'm not saying you can't have a wrench. I'm not saying that at all. It's just I've got a lot already. And it's been my experience that the more and more, usually what happens is, I'll add as my subscriber count goes up. Okay. Yeah, and that might happen. Okay. So I want to check the number on that. If the number's there, yeah, I can give you a wrench. It's not a big deal. Not at all. I trust you. So. Notification tonight? Yeah, I don't know if it went out. I mean, I went live pretty fast. So maybe, because I don't schedule it, guys. I just go. On the lifeboat, it's different. I make a thumbnail. It's usually scheduled there hours before. So, yeah. I run the technical stuff over there, guys, pretty much. Yes, you were, Christine. You were the first mod. And let me tell you, man, you've got to be, I mean, if you're not the best, right there with them. Man, you're on it. You do the job well, girl, I tell you. I'm not even kidding. I've not seen moderator. Well, I mean, on other channels and stuff, they got good mods too. I'm not saying that. I'm just saying that, for what I see, I mean, you always post links constantly. I mean, all my mods do. You know what I mean, though, guys? I mean, it's hard for me to be like, but yeah. I wish guys, and I'm being honest with this, and Sage Pup, please understand that I would make all you guys mods. I really would. But if I did that, and people come in here and everything's blue, and then people look at that and they're like, well, the only ones watching his channel is the wrenches. Well, you're probably right if I made everybody a mod. So, I just think, we're all of us here for the most part, even if you have a wrench or not, we're all positive people. And that's why we're here, right? So, that's why we're here talking about this here. You could go talk about this other places, and you'll find some positive people out there doing this stuff. But I see so much cannibalism nowadays, it's ridiculous. It pains me to watch people attack each other in the same community. It really does. There's just really no need for it. We can disagree and not attack. You know what I mean? There's a lot of people out there I disagree with on a lot of things. But I still have them in my subscription list, right? Think about that, guys. My subscription list is public, so you can go look whenever you want. It's there. You guys want to know what channels I keep going here? That's who. So, Marilyn, good to see you. Kathleen, good to see you. Yeah, guys, like I said, we are definitely going to see this one, okay? We're not going to miss this one. I'm going to play this stereo A. Remember, this is our side view, okay? Actually, I'm just going to speed that up a little bit. I would highly encourage you guys to go look at these tools for yourself, too, okay? Don't trust what I'm saying. Go look. Just trust that I'm showing you how to look at the model. That's all you have to trust me for. That's it. And then you can go draw your own conclusions. You guys are smart. Back at you. Back at you, brother. Back at you, Tommy. For sure. Oh my God. You guys ain't gonna leave me alone on that, are you? Let's see here. Alright, you got some blue paint there, Sage Pup. Just remember, guys, okay, and I'm serious about this. am serious about this one. Allow everybody to have their opinion. As long as it don't get vulgar or personal attack, let them have their own opinions, okay, guys? I'm talking to the mods here, obviously. If they attack me, whatever. It's okay. Matter of fact, I like leaving that stuff there because at the end of the day, when somebody attacks me, usually they end up coming back looking like the idiot for doing that because they know that they figure out that I'm just out here trying to do the thing I can do, right? So if somebody else is being attacked, or if you hear negative talk about any other channel, I don't care if you think I like them or not. I don't care if they've attacked me before. Don't care. We can't do that in my chat. That's one thing I don't allow. It's just not positive. It doesn't help anything, right? We can talk about what they're talking about. We're not going to personally attack people. And you could talk about situations without saying people's names, right? So yeah. But yeah, so here is this, and again, watch it here, boom, and you'll get a second one here in a second, boom. See how much identical those were? And that's because they came from the same sunspot. So, and I'm not sure that this sunspot's done. There's actually another model we can look at right here on ISWA that can kind of give us a little idea. Let's see what we can find. Okay, we'll zoom into this. This is sunspot stuff. It's the continuum. But this will give you an idea, okay? And we'll go ahead and run that for what? I don't know, 100 images maybe? Guys, you can only run 300 images at a time here, just in case you were wondering. You can keep going back and back and back if you want, but you can only go back 300 at a time. And just to put this in perspective, that big sunspot right there in the middle, I believe you can fit like 4 or 5 Earths in that thing. So, yeah, that's what we're looking at. This is one of the biggest, most complex sunspot groupings we've seen this sun cycle. These are the ones we've been seeing on the backside. And now this one here is here. It didn't decay before it, matter of fact, it's growing. When you see these over here, see how they're kind of individualized? I refer to them like this. If you guys know anything about like thunderstorms, you know that a stronger thunderstorm has a better chance of producing a tornado if it's a supercell off on its own. Once they become a line of storms, then the chance for tornadoes drastically decreases, at least for strong ones. And it looks to be very similar here. When you start seeing them separate from one another, their polarities are there, and they'll start interacting with each other, and you'll start getting big blasts. That's what happens. Hey, hot dog. Oh, okay. No, we're not talking power outages, hot dog. At least not from what I can see right now. With the data we have right now, I'm telling no. I mean, I guess there's an off chance that you might see some voltage surges and stuff the closer you get to the poles. But as far as grid down stuff, like I said at the beginning of the stream, yeah, no. I don't think that's happening. If that changes, I will come here and tell you guys, okay? And that's why I try to keep it as real as I can. Because if I ever come out here and say that, I want people to take me serious, because I'm not ever going to say that unless I am just so positive about it. You know what I mean? So, hey, Albert. But yeah, guys, so hope I was able to give you guys a little bit of an update there. But again, here is the CME. That's the first one. And we got another one now coming. So I don't think we're dodging this one, guys. And that's just, what was it on the radio show? This is the rest of the story. Who did that? I can't remember that guy's name. But yeah. Anyway. So just remember, guys, no fear. No fear at all, period. We don't fear things we can't control. We're just aware of them. Go check out the lifeboat, please. Go check out Mark Pires Renaissance Man. Go check out Emergency Management Associates. Go check out Mark Fugel. I know you guys are probably... Oh, Paul Harvey, thank you. RJ Little, thank you. You're all in there now. Heck yeah, thank you. I used to love listening to that guy. Anyway, back in AM radio days, I know I'm aging myself there, but is what it is. Oh, by the way, right here's Noaa. That's their forecasting if you guys want to see it. I don't think it's updated quite yet for the newer flare. But I just wanted to, again, guys, no fear, please. And go, like I said, go check out the lifeboat, Mark Pires Renaissance Man, Ron over to Emergency Management Associates, Mark Fugel. Guys, Rip Curl. I knew I was forgetting somebody. Guys, you guys want great prepping advice, go check out Rip Curl Readiness. Guys, he even actually did an interview over on the lifeboat. Because you'll be surprised how many people have struggled with addiction, guys. And people are not afraid to talk about it now. Because it helps people. They see that. They see it helps. So please come over there. And again, yeah. Cool, baby, cool. So yeah. See you guys. I am going to go ahead and take off. God bless. And if anything else happens, I will come on at least give you a small update. Alright? God bless. Yahusha saves. And, yeah. You can drink this Kool-Aid.